first of back-to-back home preseason games for the Bears. Robbie Gould getting set to kick it off. Bears had a good week of camp down at Bourbonnais, good week of practice, and camp broke up after the practice on Friday and the walkthrough, or practice on Thursday and the walkthrough on Friday. Lovie Smith, the emphasis on improving and building toward opening day against the Detroit Lions. Gould kicks it off. Yamon Figures is deep for the Oakland Raiders, and he brings it out from the 1. Looking to go wide, trying to turn the corner. He's forced out of bounds short of the 20-yard line. Good coverage by the Bears. And the Raiders will start from the 19-yard line. Let's take a look at the Bears on defense. Staples makes it easy for you to know who's on the field. We get a look at tonight's starters. Staples, that was easy. Front 4, of course, Julius Pepper's the key. As Lou mentioned, we're watching Mark Anderson in that battle with Israel Adonijah. The linebackers, Pisatino Samoa starting at strong side. Urlacher and Griggs solid in their positions. They're short in the safety position. Danielle Manning, who didn't play last week, starts this week. Jason Campbell, the quarterback. And the handoff for no gain to Michael Bush. Take a look at the Oakland Raiders on offense. They're missing their top 2 receivers. Darius Hayward-Bay and Chaz Schillens are out. Louis Murphy and Johnny Lee Higgins start. Zach Miller was their top receiver last season. Offensive line pretty solid. Robert Gallery, a former first-round draft pick. Blitz from the outside. Bush carries. There's a flag on the play. Pickup of a couple of yards on the play, and Mark Anderson made the tackle. John Perry is our referee, and the preliminary call is holding.
Number 76, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Robert Gallery, 7-year veteran.
Sam, while you were teeing this game up these last 3 plays, the Bears came out, covered a kick, kept him inside the 20-yard line, and had 2 good defensive stops. Last week against the Chargers, on 3 kickoffs, the Chargers' average starting position was the 40-yard line. Needed to shore that up. Very first kickoff ran the running back out of bounds to start the game. Very nice.
3 wide receivers for Oakland. Jason Campbell is the new starting quarterback. Coming over from the Redskins. Short drop. Throwing to the tight end. Zach Miller, who was the leading receiver last year. Pickup of 7 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Lance Briggs on the stop. Starters expected to go the full half. As we talked with Lovie Smith and Rod Marinelli, who said, who told us he's put in a couple of new wrinkles for this week.
Yeah, and basically they want to see people win one-on-one battles. Rod Marinelli is not interested in out scheming people to get to the quarterback. He wants to see the battles won up front.
DJ Moore, number 30 in for the Bears. Movement up front, contact, and flags fly everywhere. False start on the Raiders. Raiders won their opening preseason game against Dallas, 17-9.
Sam, you mentioned DJ Moore being in at nickel, number 30. Draft pick last year in the 4th round, battling out quietly Corey Graham this year for the nickel spot, and he's starting tonight, been in on every nickel situation. The Raiders started in a conventional offense and then went to 3 wides after that, and he's been ever since.
Raiders have to get to the 29 for first down. They go with 3 wide receivers. Bears with 5 defensive backs. Pressure from the outside by Anderson. The short pass and a big gain turned in. Strong run by Michael Bush. Bush, who was the leading rusher last season. Darren McFadden, their number 1 draft pick last year, is out, and Bush making the most of it.
Yeah, they're going to throw a screen off here into the left flat to Bush, 29 there, and you see they get a nice cut block there on Lance Briggs, and that's basically what springs Michael Bush. It takes just a half a tick too long for Briggs to recognize this, and he's a little late getting up there to force the play.
Pickup of 25 on the play, first down at the 36-yard line. Eric Pierce is in as an eligible on the right side, a tight end. Off the play fake, deep drop by Campbell. With time, he completes it. Johnny Lee Higgins into Bears territory down to the 46, a first down. Pickup of 18 on the play.
Talking to Lovie and Rod Marinelli before tonight's game, talked about going more bump and run, man-to-man coverage. You see Zach Bowman right there locked in. He just slips a little bit at the top of the route. That's where the cornerback has to have some poise about him. Don't rush your footwork or your slip.
Hunter Hillenmeyer in the game, replacing Brian Urlacher for the Bears at middle linebacker. Short drop by Campbell. Now he waits. And wide open is Zach Miller. Juggled it, holds on, and fights his way down to the Bears 33. Another first down. He picked up 13 on the play. Zach Miller's a good receiver at tight end.
He sure is. And if you're going to play man-to-man coverage like the Bears have started out tonight's game, you've got to get pressure on the quarterback. You can't give Jason Campbell all kinds of time to pump fake around the field. And then Zach Miller, as you said, he's a nice pickup there. Runs a slant and go, and then Daniel Manning gets a little spooked, thinking he's going to take it deep, and he cuts it short.
Matt Tawina in at defensive tackle. Israel Adonijah in at defensive end for the Bears. Off the handoff to Michael Bush. Gets across the 30 to the 29. Pick up a 4 on the play. Zach Bowman in on the stop. So the Bears making some changes early, juggling some players in and out.
See Adonijah in there now at right defensive end for Julius Peppers. And as you said, as we talked about, Sam, they really are looking to get heat on the quarterback. In order to play man coverage, that's got to get done to be effective.
Marcus Reese, the fullback, motions. Rock Cartwright is in at tailback for the Raiders. Campbell gets time, throwing, and he completes it to Lewis Murphy inside the 5-yard line. He is down at the 2. Chris Harrison, Charles Tillman on the stop, a pickup of 27.
Yeah, here they come off the edge right here on the blitz. It gets picked up. Little time there for quarterback just to fit the ball into that seam. They run 4 verticals. They got nobody in the middle of the field, and nice timing there by the quarterback and receiver to come up with the completion.
2 tackles in as eligibles. Eric Piers on the right, Jared Veld here on the left. First and goal for the Raiders at the Bears 2. Bush. Strong play in the middle. Julius Peppers.
Watch the left side of the Bears defensive line right in here. Nice little surge up front. And that's where you're going to see, once you get a little penetration, it allows room for safeties and linebackers to step up and make a play.
Again, 2 eligible tackles. 9th play of the drive for the Raiders, which began at the 19. Michael Bush and Alex Daniels in the backfield for Oakland. On second and goal, it's Bush. He was hit in the backfield. Again, Peppers with another good play. Back-to-back strong plays by Julius Peppers in goal line defense for the Bears.
That's a big load. Michael Bush is a pretty big guy, about 250 pounds. You see Peppers comes down from right to left. He's got to bring his feet. That's a big boy he's trying to bring down there in Bush. He almost breaks the plane of the goal line.
Again, 2 tackles eligible. 3rd and goal inside the 1. Quarterback sneak by Campbell, and he's in. Touchdown Raiders. Jason Campbell is a big guy at 6'5", 230, and he powered it in from a half yard out as the Raiders finish off the drive. Head coach Tom Cable has to be happy with the way his Raiders drove down the field.
Look at this offensive line surge. All about 6'7", 330 plus. And that's a tough line not to get a yard, or to stop from getting a yard. And you're right, the Raiders came out and looked pretty sharp. You know, other than the offside or the holding penalty that backed them up early, they did a pretty good job.
And the big play was that 3rd and long, 3rd and 17. They picked up 25 on the screen pass. Sebastian Janikowski for the extra point. And the Raiders get off to a good start as they march 81 yards. A couple of big defensive plays on goal line by Julius Peppers, but the Bears give up the opening drive touchdown. Drive, 10 plays, 81 yards, 6:33 on the drive. 5 runs, 5 passing. Jason Campbell 5 for 5 on that drive.
Yeah, and spreading it around. The 4 different guys without his 2 starting receivers. Pretty good job, I'd say, pass protection-wise for the Oakland Raiders and allowing him to get the ball down the field.
Danielle Manning back deep to return. Janikowski with a strong leg kicks it off. Here's Manning at the goal line. And he ran in hard to Ricky Brown, the linebacker, whose helmet came flying off. 23-yard return. The Bears go on offense for the first time in the game. Jay Cutler coming out, expected to go the entire first half. Some injury report, long list, and the injury bug hits tonight. Brian Urlacher, first or second play, goes out with a calf injury, and he is out the remainder of the game. But you see that long list. Now, the expectation is that everybody will be ready for the start of the season, including Caleb Haney, the backup quarterback. Bears start from the 23. Jay Cutler. Will Tofo is the fullback. The handoff to Matt Forte. Gets across the 25. Picking up a couple. Staples makes it easy for you to know who's on the field. We get a look at tonight's starters on offense for the Bears. Devin Hester, Johnny Knox, the wideouts. Greg Olson, the tight end. Matt Forte. Desmond Clark will be the long snapper, so may not play all that much from scrimmage. The offensive line looking for cohesion, and they will play the entire first half. That is one of our key focal points for tonight's games, that offensive line. 2nd and 8. Cutler off the play fake. Being rushed. Down he goes. Tommy Kelly, the defensive tackle, busting through for the sack on Jay Cutler.
Well, we just gotten through saying that earlier in the week, Lance Lewis had a nice game. Looks like he gets held up inside and bumped off. They run a little two-man game, and Lance Lewis got bumped off. Tommy Kelly ends up getting in and getting the sack.
Bears have to get to the 33 for a first down. Devin Aromashodu is in as the third wideout. Cutler with a long count. Everybody out. The rush is on. Down he goes. Cameron Wembley coming from the outside linebacker. So 2 sacks for the Raiders on the Bears' first offensive series, and head coach Tom Cable likes it.
Well, being able to do it without the blitz is just a 3-man rush. You see up top there, Chris Williams gets beat up on the outside. Wembley makes a nice move, gets his hands off him, and just like that, the Bears give up 2 sacks.
Brad Maynard standing 9 yards deep in the end zone. Yamon Figures is at midfield, ready to receive the punt. Maynard gets it away. Here's Figures at the Bears 45. And he is brought down by Rasheed Davis just across the 40-yard line. 40-yard punt, 6-yard return, and the Raiders good field position. Desmond Clark, the long snapper. Patrick Manley is out. A bad snap, but Maynard able to handle it.
Shore University Health System, Chase, Miller Lite, and U.S. Cellular.
Here's tonight's Toyota Fan Zone question. Who will have the best season on defense for the Bears? Lance Briggs, Tommy Harris, Julius Peppers, Brian Urlacher. To vote, text Toyota, space A, B, C, or D to 69050. On first down, the play fake by Campbell. Wanted to go deep. To the sideline, Louis Murphy, out of bounds. Incomplete. Lance Briggs covering on the play.
Murphy's going to make the catch, but come down out of bounds. You see, there wasn't a whole lot of pressure. I kind of thought that Campbell could have laid that ball out a little bit earlier. He wanted him to clear the rest of the field, though. That's the thing about Jason. Maybe the knock on him a little bit in Washington was that he would hold the ball a little bit too long and not anticipate things, and that's what happens. You run out of real estate sometimes.
He's a big guy with a strong arm. Played 5 years for the Redskins. Bush bursts through, breaks the tackle, and finally is brought down by Chris Harris at the 24-yard line. 15-yard run for Michael Bush.
Here's what happens. This is it's called power O. Hold just 1 second. Once we get to the edge right there, here's where the kickout block's going to come from the guard on the other side, and then that's where the hole opens up. See, everything gets sealed to the right. and nobody gets a hand on Bush for about 6 yards. It's Mark Anderson's the guy that ends up getting kicked out there, and he's just got to come down and squeeze that thing a little bit tighter.
Rock Cartwright, the running back, now short drop by Campbell. The pass batted down. Good play up front by Anthony Adams. Maybe the smallest lineman, but he reached up and blocked the pass. Tonight's game is fully interactive. Share your comments at the official Chicago Bears Facebook page, accessible directly through chicagobears.com.
A little no huddle by the Raiders.
That's what the Facebook page looks like at chicagobears.com. Great website, by the way.
Hanson.
Rock Cartwright trying to turn the corner. Good job by Chris Harris. Coming up to take him down at the 25-yard line, loss of a yard.
Not a great start to this game, obviously, the Bears offensively or defensively. But if you just keep playing your technique, you're going to watch the safety come up here, Harris, and just come up right from the outside and fill that hole nicely. You just keep playing your technique and your fundamentals. Eventually, the plays will start to develop.
He's a key man on the defense coming back from the Carolina Panthers. Marcus Harrison, number 99, in the defensive tackle for the Bears. DJ Moore, number 30, the 5th defensive back. On 3rd down and 11, Campbell going wide of Zach Miller, the tight end. A little pressure that time. Bears finally getting a little pressure on Campbell. And the 3rd down pass incomplete. So the Bears tighten up.
The Bears last week, Sam, against the Chargers, they were 1 of 7 on 3rd down. They did not have 1 of 7 on 3rd down, the 3rd more than 10. That's what helped set up this bad field position for them today. 3rd and long, not converted, backed up today is what ended up, or on this last drive, was what set the ball up here for the Raiders.
43-yard field goal try. Sebastian Janikowski out of the hold of Shane Leckler. The powerful left leg puts it right through, and the Raiders have a 10-0 lead. They took advantage of good field position, got 1 first down, put them in field goal position, and Lovie Smith and the Bears are down by 10.
At MillerLitePartyDeck.com. The Chicago Bears proudly choose the great taste of Miller Lite as their official beer.
Join us for the only Bears pregame show in Chicago every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. during the regular season. Bears Game Day Live is brought to you by Subway.
Well, as an offensive coordinator, you try to throw a couple passes, you get 2 sacks back to back, you start scratching your head. What do we do next? Screen, draw.
Johnny Knox on the return from the 3 as the Bears look to get something going. Knox wanted to cut back to his right, but he slipped and fell at the 23-yard line. 20-yard return. So the Bears, wasn't expected that Hester or Knox would return, but Knox on that return, and the Bears on offense when we come back.
Official bank of the Bears since 1934.
There's defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli. He was watching which of his defensive players would win the one-on-one battles. So far, it hasn't happened.
Right. It's 11 on 11. It's getting smoked right now.
Bears start from the 23, 2 tight ends. Brandon Manuel-Ayuno lines up at fullback. Matt Forte bursts through. Good run by Forte. First down up at the 36-yard line. Tyvon Branch, the safety, with a stop, 12-yard gain for Matt Forte.
Good delay call here out of the backfield. Little draw. They're rushing the passer up the field, obviously. They've been doing a good job of that. That time, they get everybody sealed in. And Forte, this is what's so good about him. He's a nice, patient back. He waits for blocks to get set up. He could have taken a first window right there and probably would have resulted in no gain. As it is, he gets the first down. 2
tight ends and a fullback, Will Taufo, in. It's Forte again, picking his way, goes outside. Nice turn and another good run on first down. Stepped out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Pickup of 7.
I like the patience with the play calling here, too. You could easily try to get Jay Cutler involved right away, but you want to establish something. And here, nice burst by Matt Forte. The question's been, He didn't have the speed last year. He was hampered by some injuries. He's shown up and had a nice burst in camp. I think we just saw a little bit of it right there.
Brandon Manomalayuna was picked up as a free agent because he's solid, big, strong tight end, good blocker is in the game, and they've run well twice in a row. This time, nothing. Good stop up front by Desmond Bryant, the second-year tackle out of Harvard.
When they do start throwing the ball tonight, you're going to get one of the most committed teams to playing bump and run man coverage, and that's the Oakland Raiders. Even though Asamoah's not in the lineup tonight, they're starting some young guys. In fact, they're starting one of their rookie corners, Jeremy Ware. But you're going to get tight up in your face bump and run coverage. That's what we got on this play right here.
3 wide receivers in. Devin Aromashadu in as the third wide out. The Bears numbers on third down last week. Cutler waiting, throwing a little too high as he tried to hit Johnny Knox. Covered by Stanford Route on the play.
Yeah, the timing was off a little bit. Johnny Knox slipped again into his route. You'd like to see him stay a little bit more patient over his feet. He ends up slipping and coming out. The ball's a little high. They just misfired just a little bit. But underneath, Aromashadu had beaten his guy. Cutler just wanted something a little further down the field.
Brad Maynard with his second punt of the game. Snap off again. Ramon Figures waves late for a fair catch. Dropped the ball. And it's a flag on the play. Now this is going to be an interesting call. You have to allow the receiver the opportunity to catch the football. However, he waved for the fair catch awfully late.
He did, but whether he waits for it late or not, he still needs room to catch the ball. I think he's getting blocked, but it looked to me like the defender was pushing his way into the ball.
There is no foul for kick-catch interference as he was blocked into the punt returner. 1st and 10.
This is tough because it looks like Graham is getting blocked into it, but he's really the guy that's forcing the issue there. So, I don't know. It's obviously they make the call where it's not interference, but it could have gone either way, Sammy.
It is recovered by the Raiders, and they start from their 20-yard line on their third offensive possession. Jason Campbell to Michael Bush. Bush with a couple of yards.
That right there was oh boy, Pepper's on the ground. He made a nice play to stuff the offensive tackle back in the backfield and then come off and make the tackle. He's slow getting up.
Right now, the injury bug is really hitting the Bears. Tommy Harris on all fours, but Julius Peppers, the key to the Bears defense this season.
See him bench press that offensive tackle, excuse me, Sammy, right back into the backfield to make the tackle there, and then there's a big pileup.
Like his right leg might have gotten caught up underneath him a little bit.
That's the thing that just is so, it's dangerous. You get guys flying, running through the pile, landing on the ground, and everyone else falls on top of them. There's going to be somebody that gets a leg stuck underneath all that. Don't hate to start a game off having all these injuries pile up, starting with Urlacher.
A concern for the head coach, Lovie Smith. Take a look.
There's Julius Peppers. Watch this bench press. He pushes an offensive tackle. That's a 350-pound guy he's bench pressing back in there. Whatever it is, it doesn't look devastating. Who knows? It's all speculation, but I don't see anything too alarming in there.
All right.
That's my professional medical opinion. I've had a few knee surgeries, Sam. I don't see anything destructive.
You know what? May not have been the leg. Now they're just checking his vision here. So did he take a hit? Don't want to get into speculation. The good news is Julius Peppers gets up and jogs off the field, and you can hear the fan reaction. That's good news.
Big sigh of relief there.
This is the man that's the key to the Bears defense, the restructuring of the defense. It will revolve around his ability to make plays like that and to rush the passer. Israel Adonijah is in to replace Julius Peppers. Tommy Harris is okay. He stays on the field. On second down, the handoff is to Bush, and Bush is brought down at the 21-yard line. Adonijay with the tackle. As you know, on Bears preseason football, we've got our new first down marker. There it is. And it's brought to you by Lexus, and we thank the Lexus people. Check out where the Raiders have to get to for a first down. Matt Tawina, number 75, in at defensive tackle, replacing Anthony Adams. Lewis Murphy in motion. Campbell out of the shotgun. Throws, completes to Murphy. It's a first down for the Raiders. Corey Graham on the coverage, but a good pass thrown by Jason Campbell.
You know, you'd like to see Corey Graham right here. It's man coverage. He gets caught with the motion standing outside the receiver. You'd like to see him inside, and the Raiders take advantage of it and run the little slant pass there. That's something that just comes with a little experience. Just sit right inside it. Third down, take away the slant.
A little conversation between the head coach and Corey Graham. Raiders first down on the 34. Campbell throws the screen for the fullback Marcus Reese. Big gainer again. Danielle Manning chasing him and finally rides him out of bounds. Second time the screen pass has gone for good yardage. This time, huge yardage, a 40-yard gain.
Yeah, very nicely timed call. The Bears are trying to come with the pressure. They bring the blitz off the left side, and you see Adonijay there gets caught up inside, and Chris Harris really probably could have called the guy on him for holding, but they don't call it, and you get a big gain out of it. Very well-timed call, I think.
Rod Marinelli calling in the defensive signals. Brian Urlacher went out early with a calf injury, standing along the sideline. Timeout on the field. For the stories that'll have you talking, watch Fox Chicago News at 9 with Bob Surratt and Robin Robinson. Glad you're with us for Bears preseason football. And the good news is that Julius Peppers is back on the field. Shaken up momentarily, cause for concern as we showed you that injury list. That's a long list of injuries. Major Wright, who played so well, the third-round draft pick last week in San Diego, but broke a finger and underwent surgery. They're hoping he'll be ready for open day.
Yeah, and it's so common, Sam. This happens everywhere around the league. Training camp gets long. You're practicing every day. You're susceptible to these kind of injuries that come when you get kind of tired.
Nick Roach in at left linebacker. Strong side linebacker replacing Pisatino Samoa. Cartwright in motion. Campbell fakes, throws deep, and it's intercepted by Charles Tillman. Pass intended for Zach Miller, and Tillman covered it well. Another focus of training camp, turnovers, takeaways, and that was a big one for the Bears.
Yeah, Charles Tillman, very happy to get this. He only had 2 on the season last year. Jason Campbell's looking the opposite direction. For some reason, comes back over here and just threw the ball outside. Tillman was already outside. If I'm coaching Jason Campbell, just stay on the other side of the field. That's where he started out. Young quarterbacks, you don't want to ever go from one side of the field all the way back to the other. But for Charles Tillman, he was glad he did.
Bears start from the 11-yard line. 2 tight ends. Greg Olsen splits out. Kellen Davis tight to the right side. And it's Forte with a couple of blockers and a good hole. Forte cuts it back. Here he goes. Forte being chased. He goes all the way. Touchdown. $89-yard run for Matt Forte. He's got his speed back.
He sure does. Somebody started gaining on him, but then he pulled back away. What a great block. Couple of blocks right there. You see Olin Kreutz out in front, Lance Lewis, and then that cut probably wouldn't have happened last year, Sam. Matt Forte has his speed back and took it to the house. Patience in the preseason. Patience.
And look, Mike Martz running the football.
How about that?
A low snap again, and Maynard goes down. Well, Desmond Clark, he hasn't snapped in the game in a long, long time. Patrick Manley is out with a stinger. Desmond Clark's 3 snaps, 2 have been pretty poor.
Probably the only snaps he's made since high school.
There's Matt Forte. That's a good run.
Here's the snap here, bounces it back. Maynard does the smart thing, really. Preseason, just take a knee. And then watch Lance Lewis. Here we're going to watch this thing. Lance Lewis rolls out here, takes out the safety. Kreutz comes right behind him on the linebacker, and then Forte does the rest. This very play was called last week on Forte's first or second run. Can't remember. They had the same blocking scheme, the same everything. Kreutz missed the block, and Forte got no gain out of it. This is the exact way the game last week could have started and looked a lot better. Fortunately, tonight, they took the next step and made it happen.
So the Ford scoring drive summary, 1 play, 89 yards. Can't do much better than that. Jay Cutler along the sideline. Boy, that running game will do so much for the passing game. And Forte looking the way he did in his rookie season.
You know, I don't think you can say enough of what it means to have multiple athletic offensive linemen. Lance Lewis is an excellent athlete at 300 pounds to be able to get out there on the corner like that, along with Olin Kreutz.
Rod Cartwright on the return, weaves his way through, and finally brought down by Garrett Wolf at the 36 and a flag on the play.
Might have got his face mask.
37-yard return for Rock Cartwright. Again, some problems on the coverage for the Bears.
On the tackle, personal foul, number 25 of the kicking team. Horse collar type tackle, 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Got him on the horse collar, got him around the neck. He's right up by the sideline. You see him watch his right hand come right down on the back of his shoulder pads. Well, they got a horse collar, and it looked like a horse collar. He threw the flag. He probably didn't need to.
If they're going to make a mistake, they're going to make a mistake in favor of player safety.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's one point of emphasis for the officials. Raiders start from the Bears 48. Second time they've started to drive in Bears territory. And movement. Peppers comes across. False start Raiders.
Number 75. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
You know, Sam, it's preseason. You want everybody to come out and come right out. Everything starts exploding. Offense is playing well. Defense gets stops, gets off the field. But so many times it's just you have to work through some improper technique and fundamentals, and finally the game starts coming. And you can't just panic right away in a preseason game. This thing has to come together a little bit.
Ala Falava in its safety for the Bears, number 24 on 1st and 15. Michael Bush trying to power through that pile of players, and he gets 3 on the play up to midfield as we come to the end of the first quarter. Boy, it seemed like a lot of things happened. Bears defensively struggled early, got an injury. Then they got a big pickup on the big run. And the future Bears are in the house. End of the first quarter. The Oakland Raiders leading the Chicago Bears 10-6. Slow getting up. He gets up limping.
That time they brought the corner blitz. Zach Bowman came in and just disrupted things enough in the backfield to force Campbell to come out of the pocket. He's going to come down from here on the lower part of the screen. Good job avoiding the block, and then Campbell is forced out of the pocket.
And Bowman came in late on the corner blitz. 3rd and 9. 3 wide receivers in. Pressure from outside. Campbell steps up and throws, and it's incomplete. Threw into coverage that time for Lewis Murphy. Good job by the Bears that time, and good pressure on the quarterback. So the Bears are starting to get some pressure.
A little bit. Mark Anderson got some nice pressure around the edge, forced Jason Campbell to step up. Really, I don't know why they didn't throw a flag. Campbell was past the line of scrimmage when they threw that, it looked like.
It was close, very close. Devin Hester is in the return. So the starting return men, we saw Johnny Knox earlier. Here's Devin Hester back at the 10.
Given the field position, probably just a fair catch this thing.
Shane Leckler. Hester half-hearted wave. The ball bounces into the end zone for a touchback. So the Bears from the 20-yard line after a good defensive series.
Dump off pass from Caleb Haney. Chester gives some a nice explosive dimension, good size to him as a third down change of pace back. Very, very good. Eric Bieniemy, the running back coach in Minnesota, called him the best third down back he's ever coached.
Two tight ends, Greg Olson and Brandon Manomalayuna. Cutler gets time and off the hands of Olson. He just broke free of the defender, Tyvon Branch, but it went off his hands.
Took Greg a little time to shake free. You see him get jammed up a little bit in the beginning, and then he sticks with it, makes a nice little move right there at the top of the route. Looks like his eyes just got back a little bit late. Jay had to get rid of the ball. Had some pressure on him, and timing was just knocked off a little bit. First pass Jay's thrown to a tight end, or actually any Bear quarterback's throwing a tight end this preseason.
3rd and 5 for the Bears. Devin Aroma-Shadu in as a third wide receiver. Goes in motion. Cutler gets pressure. Throws and he's got Devin Hester wide open. First down Bears at the Raiders' 46-yard line. Walter McFadden, the rookie out of Auburn, was covering on the play. Good job by Hester to turn him around.
Yeah, you start out here, you get nice protection with Cutler's nice deep 7-step drop. Plenty of room to step up in the pocket. The Bears had started out in a little bunch formation, and out the back door comes Devin Hester on a corner route.
Mike Martz upstairs. He was down on the field last week in San Diego, calling the plays from upstairs this time. First play the Bears have run in Raiders territory. The end around to Hester is a good gainer, and he's forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Pickup of 16, so suddenly Devin Hester becoming a factor in the offense.
What ends up happening, Sam, is once you start running the ball, the backside of a defense starts to close down on the backside, and that's what leaves a guy like Devin Hester room to run. As a defense, you have to stop all these gaps down the line of scrimmage, and sometimes the reverse gets unaccounted for.
The guy who's done a good job blocking is Brandon Manomalayuna since he's been in there. Kellen Davis, the other tight end, as they go two tights. Aroma-Shadu the wide receiver, off the play fake. Cutler couldn't find anybody. Good mobility, nice run by Cutler, and he slides down at the 19-yard line. Pickup of 11 and a first down. Nice athletic moves by Jay Cutler.
This was great. This looked like a young Eric Kramer. No,
Eric Kramer, yeah.
Maybe Rich Gannon. This was great here.
Good stuff.
You know, smart, knows where the first down markers are, gets past them. Very nice job by Cutler.
And the red zone is where the Bears are at, and it's brought to you by Sports Authority. Greg Olson and Kellen Davis, the two tight ends. And the Bears have gone to that, and the offense has picked up. Two wide receivers left. Cutler gets time to the end zone, and he overthrows Greg Olson. Covered by Cameron Wembley.
Like Jay was thinking Olson was getting bumped as he was going down the field a little bit. But I think the thing we've noticed here in the last 3 or 4 passes is the line protection that they are allowing Jay Cutler. We talked about coming into the game how this group needed to come together collectively. They had some good individual performance, but look at this. There's Jay, Kreutz, everybody starting to fire each other up, and then this thing's starting to come together a little bit.
Mike Tice is the offensive line coach. Watching intently. Devin Aroma-Shadu in as a third wide receiver. Bears go empty backfield. And a quarterback keeper. I don't know if there was a mistake on the play, but Cutler carried it for no gain. Bring up a 3rd and 10.
I don't know if I think if I'm Mike Martz, I say let's don't ever do that again, especially when we got no experienced backups behind you to finish this game, huh? Desmond Clark's already the long snapper. We don't want to see him at quarterback.
Cutler works out of the shotgun with Chester Taylor in the backfield with him. Being rushed from the outside, the pass just off the hands of Johnny Knox. The blitz from the outside by Stanford Routt. And the pass off the hands of Knox.
Ball came in a little hot. Knox is running a slant route. The ball's coming in pretty hot right on him. It just stretches him out a hair, and yeah, pretty decent coverage.
All right, Desmond Clark will be the snapper again as Robbie Gould attempts a 37-yard field goal out of the hold of Brad Maynard. And a bad snap again. And Gould throws it away. So you can see, you don't notice it until he's not there. That's Patrick Manley. You don't know what you've got till he's gone. And right now, Patrick Manley, one of the best long snappers in the NFL, out with an injury. And the snapping has not been good by Desmond Clark tonight.
Physician Network, more than 75 medical offices. At North Shore University Health System, excellence is all around you.
You can win a chance to be the captain of the 4th phase, representing all Bears fans on the field at the home opener with the All-State 4th phase kickoff contest. Log on to ChicagoBears.com for details and enter today. Bears open the season at home against the Detroit Lions. Wow, so that last play was ruled intentional grounding. Robbie Gould just picking the ball up and throwing it away. It's a spot foul, and the Raiders will start from the 33. And right now, the Robbie Gould and Brad Maynard have to be worried about those snaps, and we could get killed out here.
I think you said it. You don't really appreciate what you have until it's gone, and you don't realize how difficult it is, these long snappers, the job they do. And Desmond Clark's been the backup. He's just never been forced into action until now.
Brock Cartwright, Marcus Reese in the backfield with Jason Campbell. And the bad snaps have cost the Bears 4 points. They trail by 4. Cartwright, good swarming to the ball by Nick Roach and Hunter Hillenmeyer. We go downstairs to the sideline for Lou Canellis. Lou.
Sam, I'll tell you what, the Bears appreciate what they have in Patrick Manley. This guy has played in 121 consecutive regular season games, 189 over the course of his career, and if he survives the first 2 and plays in the 3rd of the regular season against Green Bay, that will give him 192, and that will set a new Bears record. He'll be back next week.
Thanks, Lou. That pass went off the hands of Brock Cartwright. Safety valve pass as pressure got to Jason Campbell. He wanted to go deep, but nobody open on the play.
Yeah, that's Raider football. Block everybody up. Try to send your speedy receivers deep. That time, the Bears did a nice job of covering up everybody beyond the line of scrimmage. And then, Jason Campbell again felt some pressure, and that's what made the throw come off a little bit hot out of his hand.
Julius Peppers, Israel Adonijah are the defensive ends. Tommy Harris, Matt Towina the tackles. On 3rd down. 3rd and 7, Campbell gets pressure. And the pass incomplete. Intended for Zach Miller, Danielle Manning, the safety covering on the play. Good defensive series by the Bears. Their game has gotten better after the first couple of Raiders possessions. The Bears have picked it up on both sides of the ball.
They have, and more specifically right then on 3rd down when you need it most. You need some push out of your defensive lineman. Matt Towina did a great job that time of forcing the pocket back into the lap of the quarterback.
Devin Hester is deep again. Shane Leckler gets the punt away. Good long kick. Hester watches it bounce. And it rolls toward the sideline and rolls to a stop at the 23-yard line. 2 consecutive 3-and-outs for the Raiders. Bears defense has played well, the offense picking up also. Is Monday at 6 p.m. on WSCR 670 The Score. Bears All Access is brought to you by Sports Authority. Good crowd here at Soldier Field for this first of 2 home preseason games. Next week, the Arizona Cardinals come in. That'll be a good test for the Bears. Bears start from the 23. Garrett Wolf is in at running back. Will Taufo is the fullback. Greg Olsen remains in at tight end. Wolf goes in motion. The pass intended for Wolf was thrown wide of him by Jay Cutler. Glad you're with us for Bears preseason football on the Chicago Bears Network. There is Brian Urlacher, who went out early in this game with a calf injury on the first defensive series for the Bears, and added to the injury list. Sam Rosen, Eric Kramer, Lou Canellis here at Soldier Field. Glad you're with us. Bears trailing 10-6. Chester Taylor back in at running back with 2 tight ends, Greg Olsen and Kellen Davis. And a timeout called by Jay Cutler. A lot of shifting going on, and time was running down on the play clock.
United Airlines, Subway, and Lexus.
This is a good time for North Shore University Healthcare System sideline report, so let's go to our man, Lou Canellis.
Sam, Matt Forte hasn't been this healthy in 2 seasons. Remember, 2 off seasons ago, he suffered a hamstring injury. Last year, September 27th against Seattle, the knee sprain, had knee surgery, and now he's cutting on the football field like he did 2 years ago when he set the Bears rookie rushing record with 1,200 yards and 63 receptions in that first season. Back to you.
Thanks, Lou. And boy, did he ever look good on that 89-yard touchdown run.
Be nice to recapture some of those numbers again. Thought that time Jay had to check one down to Greg Olsen in the flat. This brings up another 3rd and long. They're 3rd and 8, it looks like right now. These are tough 3rd downs to make, Sam. They're going to bring pressure. You're going to have to hold on to the ball a little bit longer.
Cutler 3 for 8. 3 wide receivers in. Devin Aroma should do the 3rd wide out. Cutler being rushed, and they got him. Once again, it's Cameron Wembley, the linebacker, coming from the outside. 3rd sack of the game for the Raiders.
Watch Cameron Wembley down here on the right side of your screen, right here. He's going to, at 6'5", 260, dip right up underneath Chris Williams. Just need that extra little bend in his knee to shove him right down to the ground. And ended up creating a short corner. What ends up happening, offensive linemen get their shoulders turned, Sam, and the corner gets shortened on the way to the quarterback.
That time a good snap. And Maynard with the punt. Johnny Lee Higgins with a fair catch at the Raiders 49-yard line. Watch Bears on Demand exclusively from Xfinity. More choice, more control, and more entertainment with Xfinity from Comcast.
Now, before everybody panics and says Chris Williams can't, block at left tackle, in a game during the season, once the preseason, you figure a lot of this stuff out, you might have a tight end to help chip him. You might have a back come out and help him on his way out of the backfield. You won't leave a guy like Chris Williams maybe isolated on a legitimate, elite type pass rusher like that.
Wembley, a linebacker lined up with his hand on the ground as a defensive end. Good speed. From midfield, Rock Cartwright, no gain, he's shoved back. First hit by Marcus Harrison and then stopped by Hunter Hillenmeyer, who is playing in place of Ryan Urlacher at middle linebacker.
You mentioned Marcus Harrison. Here's a guy that was drafted a couple years ago. And again, you're going to see him right down here. Well, we don't get it from this angle, but Marcus does a nice job of penetrating inside, circling around, and then being right there in Rock Cartwright's face. And he's a guy, Sam, that needs to make some plays as well. Remember, we're all in preseason. It's all an evaluation process. That was a nice job of him getting off the ball quickly a big guy to be what they call a 3-technique tackle, which is the guy that plays on the outside edge of the guard.
Alafalava in its safety. Campbell gets time. He's throwing deep, and it's overthrown. Intended for Yamon Figures. Once again, the Raiders going without their top wide receivers, Darius Hayward-Bay and Chaz Schillens, both banged up. Tom Cable, a lot of people thought he'd be done at the end of last season, but he hung in there and has been re-upped.
You know, that's going to be a stormy place as a head coach.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take your share of controversy, and he's obviously had to battle a lot coming in, and here he is, still surviving.
3rd and 10. Campbell gets pressure from Peppers, runs for it, chased by Adonijay, and he goes out of bounds at the first down markers. Very close here.
All throughout training camp, even after 9 years in the league, he's one of the best hustlers on the team.
Reverse to Lewis Murphy. Makes the turn, and Charles Tillman is there to wrap him up. Short gain on the play. Pickup of 3 down to the 37-yard line.
You see the team starting to open things up a little bit. The Bears ran a reverse with Hester. Now the Raiders, what you have to do when you come into some of these, you know, as the games go on, you have to start spreading the field offensively as a play caller and make the defense, you know, cover the entire field. Otherwise, they're just going to sit and tee off on your quarterback.
Peppers comes to the sideline. Nick Roach is in, replacing Pisatino Isamoa. Tino Isamoa's out there as well. And wrapped up was Rock Cartwright. Good play by Israel Adonijay. A loss of 1 on the play.
You know, after the one run that the Raiders gassed him on, everything up inside, you see, actually Tommy Harris right there did a fantastic job of pushing his way up the field and making the running back cut back inside right into Adonijay. That play was set up by Tommy Harris, an explosion coming off the ball.
Here's another big 3rd down play. Raiders have converted a couple of big ones. They got 3 wide receivers in. Bears with 5 defensive backs. Campbell, pressure, stepping up, faking and throwing, and completes it to Lewis Murphy. Slipped one man, and he's brought down on a good tackle by Charles Tillman. But it's a 1st down for the Raiders at the 15, and again, picking up the 3rd down, converting the 3rd down.
Well, like you said, everything starts with pressure. He ends up stepping up inside and buying himself a little time, scanning the field. You know, that's just having enough. You don't have to have a ton of athleticism, just a little bit to move around and buy yourself a little time like that. Good play by Campbell, and the Bears did you know, and you're going to give up some plays, but at least they didn't give up something huge.
Raiders are 5 for 8 on 3rd down conversions. Rock Cartwright hit in the backfield. Good play up front by Lance Briggs, busting through.
You know, Lance has been to 5 straight Pro Bowls, and I love the way he plays outside linebacker. You're going to see here, watch him come knifing through the inside of this gap here. Once he sees the hole open up, and the sure tackle. He'll miss one every now and then, like he did last week against San Diego. Ryan Matthews left his feet. He brought his feet that time, did a good job technique-wise getting to the ground. Marcus
Harrison and Matt Toina, the tackles for the Bears. Peppers and Anderson, the ends. Zach Miller motions. Campbell throwing, and a little too high for Todd Watkins. 3rd-year man out of BYU.
Good coverage that time by Zach Bowen. Locked up man-to-man coverage. Right in his hip pocket. Gets, you know, sometimes you don't have time to look back for the ball, Sam. Here's Zach. He gets up underneath him. Now watch when the ball comes. The receiver puts his hand up, and that's where Bowen puts his hand up. Very good awareness, even when you don't have your back to the ball. When you do have your back to the quarterback.
DJ Moore, number 30, in as a 5th defensive back for the Bears. Here's 3rd and 10 for the Raiders, with 3 wide receivers in. Campbell steps up, throws, and it's through the hands of Lewis Murphy. And that was the biggest problem for the Raiders last season, with Murphy and Hayward-Bay dropped a lot of passes.
And that kills you to drop one on 3rd down. A nice protection Looked like the Bears defensive line maybe could use a break right there. A little out of gas.
Sebastian Janikowski will attempt a 43-yarder out of the hold of Shane Leckler. Their long snapper is John Kondo. Janikowski, one of the best. Strong leg, it's right through. Raiders back on top by 7, 13-6. We've been watching the offensive line throughout the game and how they're progressing.
Yeah, they've had some struggles pass protection. Here's one of the first sacks here, given up inside by Lewis, coming around the edge this time of Chris Williams. Another one around Chris Williams. Cameron Winley's had himself a heck of a game, and then here you see on the run how athletic this offensive line can be, and springing Matt Forte for the long touchdown run. Inconsistency, Sam. They're not quite have it wrapped up just yet, but here's the guy that's responsible for putting this whole thing together, Mike Tice. And if they can make some improvement, just cohesion type, knowing where your help is, keeping the guys clean off the quarterback, this could be a pretty good unit.
This is a unit that's is pretty new. You talked about 4 players starting in different positions and new positions for them. Kreutz is the mainstay, the foundation, but they've got to get Chris Williams, who's starting. He finished off last season as the starting left tackle, but that's a key position.
There's Chris there. We've talked about, here's a guy that's a left tackle, drafted first. You think he's going to come in and line it up right away. He's had his struggles in camp, but he's been working hard. He's been getting better. And the fortunate thing is he's going against a guy like Julius Peppers every day that's helped make him get better.
Garrett Wolf on the return. Broke 1 tackle, stood up at the 24-yard line. 25-yard return. Jay Cutler remains in the game. Bears' biggest offensive play, you saw it moments ago, the 89-yard touchdown run. Cutler is 3 for 8 and has been sacked 3 times. The completions, 1 to the tight end, Greg Olsen, 1 to the running back, Chester Taylor, and 1 to Devin Hester.
They look a little not quite in sync a couple times with throws that went one way and the receiver goes the other.
Chester Taylor, Will Tafoe in the backfield. It's Taylor carrying. It's a couple of yards. One of the Raiders' helmets pops off. It was the defensive lineman Desmond Bryant. Raiders, since their Super Bowl appearance at the end of the 2002 season, haven't won more than 5 games in a season. And they are trying to find a way to turn it around in the AFC. They've ended the experiment of Jamarcus Russell,
got themselves a quarterback,
and Jason Campbell is their man at quarterback. 2 tight ends in for the Bears. Cutler gets time, throws, and it's through the hands, a little behind Devin Hester. Had to reach back for it. He was covered by Stanford Routt, but it was a catchable ball.
I like the throw because it put on his back shoulder. Stanford Routt was on his upfield shoulder, right here. Stanford Rout's up ahead of him. The ball gets put right on his back shoulder, Sam. I think the design was, that's right where Cutler wanted to put the ball, and then Hester's got to come up with that. Trying to save him to stay away from the safety and lead him away from the cornerback.
3rd and long for the Bears. 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. With 3 wide receivers, Aroma Shadu goes wide. The blitz is on. The pass caught by Olsen. Trying to fight off the defender. Comes up a little short of the 1st down marker. Good battle by Greg Olsen, but he comes up short.
Yeah, 4th time, Sam, they've been in 3rd and 8 or longer, and that's tough because eventually they're going to bring a blitz and make you throw hot like Cutler had to do before he's ready, and they end up making the tackle short of the 1st down.
3rd 3 and out for the Bears offense thus far in the game. And Brad Maynard set for his 4th punt.
All right, see if this one makes it back to the target.
Those snaps have been pretty good to the punter. Maynard gets it up high. Johnny Lee Higgins waits for a fair catch at the 25-yard line. Bears trailing 13-6. Had the good moment Other than that, well, the offense has been sluggish.
Yeah, the defense, has started to pick things up a little bit, but offensively, you say sluggish, I'd say inconsistent.
Okay.
Started out, didn't really do much of anything, popped a long run, and then all of a sudden things started to get back on track a little bit, and then again, it's really just been pass protection. Pass protection and a drop ball here and there. But, yeah, not the best night so far for the Bears, but hey, sometimes it gets ugly, Sam. You just got to keep plugging your way through it.
Al Afalava in at safety for the Bears, they've rotated a couple of players on the defensive line. Toina has played, Marcus Harrison has played. Donajay and Peppers are the ends. Here comes Peppers, pressure on Campbell. Donajay got pressure, he got it away to Zach Miller. What an effort by Miller. As he gets a first down up to the 37-yard line. He picks up 12 on the play. Zach Miller, fourth-year man out of Arizona State. And down is one of the linemen, the center. Samson Satelli is injured for the Raiders.
Watch how everybody, Tommy Harris keeps battling. He ends up at the quarterback. A lot of people on the ground, and that's where Satelli gets rolled up. But Peppers right here coming off the edge, gets a little pressure, keeps working to get around the corner. But you see what happens is he gets locked out, but the two defensive tackles keep getting pressure.
Working against a rookie out of Hillsdale, 6'8", 315, Jared Veldheer. The Raiders drafted offensive linemen in the 3rd and 4th round. Satelli shaken up, being checked out by the medical staff. Now helped up.
The Bears are still looking for a way to get pressure on the quarterback with just that 4-man rush.
Let's go down to the sideline to Lou Canellis. Lou, what do you got?
Sam and Eric coming up at halftime of a sit-down I did with Julius Peppers. Interesting conversation with Peppers. Real engaging guy, very quiet. But one of the questions that I asked him was why the Bears? And he talked about how Lovie Smith actually was at the airport when the clock struck midnight when free agency opened, and he was anxious to play with Rod Marinelli. He had seen Marinelli when he was one of the coaches of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, excited to play for Lovie Smith and work with the tradition here of the Chicago Bears and what they've meant defensively to the NFL. This is a guy that had 14.5 sacks one season 2 years ago. He feels he can do the same, even though he's hit the age of 30. He thinks his best year still may be ahead.
The snap was lost. Donajay's got it on the recovery. Out of the shotgun, Jason Campbell mishandled the snap. Good job by Donajay on the recovery. That was the backup center, Chris Morris, who had just gone in for Samson Satelli.
We talked about backups and snappers, and you don't appreciate what you have. Well, you've got to be ready when you get your name called. Fortunately for the Bears, they end up getting the ball on a turnover here, but preseason sometimes gets ugly, Sammy, and you got to be ready when you get your name called.
Second turnover for the Raiders. Good job by Donajay. Heads up play after he went after Campbell. Found the loose ball. And the Bears at the Raiders 25. Chester Taylor in the backfield. They go with 3 wide receivers. Draw play to Taylor. Can't get outside. Good tackle on the play. On the inside by Trevor Scott. We've come to the 2-minute warning here at Soldier Field. The Bears with them all trailing by 7. Go Bears Network. Sam Rosen, Eric Kramer, Lou Canellis with you. Glad you're with us. And the fans here having a good time. Bears 2nd and 11 at the Raiders 26. 2 tight ends in, Greg Olson and Desmond Clark. Hester in motion. On the end around, it's Hester. Ran right by his blocker and gets pushed out of bounds by Trevor Scott.
Yeah,
picked up a 4 on the play.
Yeah, Roberto Garza out in front of that one. Of all the linemen I would have thought been out there, maybe Kreutz or Lance Lewis, but not Roberto. Big road grader inside. Got some great size and leverage to him. Good inside run blocker.
Ball at the 22. 3 wide receivers in. Knox, Hester, and Aroma Shadu. Chester Taylor, the running back. Cutler. Pressure. Rolling and throwing for Johnny Knox, and it was broken up. Good defensive play by the rookie out of Auburn, Walter McFadden, who made a bad play earlier. Hester beat him on the play. That time he covered Knox very well.
Yeah, that time McFadden did a nice job of waiting and being patient. At the last second, that's when he put his arm out. Knox flashed open initially. That's why Cutler led the ball out there to the sideline like that. McFadden did a nice job of knocking the ball away.
And now on 4th down, because of the problems with the snap, the Bears go for it here. Down by 7. Everybody out. Pressure from outside. Good job by Cutler to step up. He's in trouble. He throws, and he's got a man. Johnny Knox. Touchdown. Credit Jay Cutler. Great job.
Well, he's a lot of things, Sam. One of them is athletic, and he gets outside the pocket. He can throw the ball from a number of different body positions. He doesn't have to be set. In fact, his body's working away from the end zone that time, and somehow managed to work himself back in to at least get the ball to Johnny Knox, who did a nice job himself of working to get free.
And again, with the snap problems, Lovie Smith elects to go for 2. With the Bears trailing by 1. If you joined us late, Patrick Manley, the long snapper, is out with a stinger, an injury suffered last week. Desmond Clark on the snaps for points, an extra point and a field goal. Bad snaps, and the Bears were unable to get the kicks off.
So as not to get either kicker hurt, the Bears decided to go for 2.
With 3 wide receivers and Taylor the running back. It's Taylor, and he's in, and the Bears take the lead. Good block by Lance Lewis up front.
Chris Williams actually lined up at the tight end on that position, but here's another look at the touchdown. Watch Jay Cutler avoid the rush. He ends up running completely flat to the sideline. He never does get turned back upfield. Just a nice little flick of the wrist, and the ball. Johnny Knox does a nice job working to get up the field. Cutler starts at him, so he ends up turning up the field. And on the play, sometimes this is what happens at the end as a quarterback. No big deal.
The hit by Chris Cooper.
And then watch, here's Chris Williams line up over here at the tight end on the right. Seals everything in. Lance Lewis gets around the corner, and Chester gets to walk in for the 2-point play.
Good block by Lance Lewis on the linebacker, Rolando McClain, the first-round draft pick of the Raiders. So Cutler, and the Bears convert the turnover. The Bears have scored after both their takeaways in the game. Yamon Figures from the 5. Corey Graham got a piece of him, and down he goes at the 25-yard line, 21-yard return. Take a look at the Ford scoring drive summary. Matt Forte scored earlier. This latest drive was 25 yards on 4 plays. And of course, the big play on 4th down. Jay Cutler scrambling and finding Johnny Knox in the end zone, a 22-yard touchdown pass. And the Bears, who had a rough start to the game, now have the lead, 14-13. Jason Campbell the fake, the draw play to Rock Cartwright. Good play up front by Julius Peppers. Pickup of 3. And the Bears call timeout. The first defense has come all the way. There was a moment, in case you missed it, where the entire stadium held its breath. Julius Peppers was shaken up on a play. He was checked out, went out for a couple of plays, came back in, and a big sigh of relief was breathed.
Absolutely.
And Peppers has looked good. He's put pressure on. He hasn't gotten to the quarterback, but he's gotten pressure.
No, but he brings that relentless attitude, Sam, to the position, and kind of infectious around the whole defense. The guy never quits coming.
Brian Urlacher went out of the game early on the first defensive series with a calf injury and will not return. 2nd and 7. They're showing blitz. Pressure, and the ball's knocked down. There's a flag on the play. Tolina tried to get there. The Raiders recovered, but there is a flag on the play. Good job again by the Bears up front getting pressure. Julius Peppers was right there.
Absolutely. This is what he does, and he's such a great athlete to be able to anticipate the ball coming out and strips the ball. He beats Walker right around the edge again, and what a great play right there.
Tolina trying to get to the ball.
Personal foul, chop block, number 66 and number 25. That penalty's been declined. The results of the play, 3rd down.
Cooper Carlisle was called on it with Rock Cartwright. Tommy Harris limped off. And as you see him,
I got a
leg problem, left leg.
My apologies to Langston Walker. I kept calling him the left tackle that Julius Peppers was beating. It's actually Jared Veldier.
Yeah, that's the rookie. Marcus Harrison has replaced Tommy Harris at defensive tackle. Campbell throws a screen pass to Rock Cartwright. This time the Bears have it covered. They got burned by the screen a couple of times. This time Charles Tillman and Lance Briggs all over it.
There you go. There's Tommy Harris. Watch this. There's Tommy Harris right there. Brings a little pressure. They're trying to get oh boy. That's what they call the chop block. You go low and somebody actually touched him while the back was still engaged.
DJ Moore is deep to receive the punt of Shane Leckler. Good high kick. Moore backs up to the 21. And he ran into one of the Raiders at the 25-yard line. 1 minute remaining in the first half. And the Bears with a 14-13 lead.
Good clock management there on defense, trying to save some time, get a 2-minute drill before the half. You want to put yourself in a number of these type of situations coming out of training camp, just to have a little go at it.
Cutler has gone all the way, 5 for 12, but the big play he made on 4th down, the scramble to get out of trouble, big time pressure, and he found Johnny Knox open in the end zone, and the 2-point conversion gave the Bears the lead. They go with 3 wide receivers: Hester, Knox, and Aromashadu. Cutler in trouble. They've got him. 4th sack of the game for the Raiders. That time was Cameron Wembley. That's his 3rd sack. Wembley's had a big game.
Yeah, they almost fell into this one. The Bears, right, watch Chris Williams down here. Wembley comes up the field and then back underneath, and Chris Williams gets jammed that time by the tackle. So it was really something between him and Roberto Garza that didn't get that handle properly.
Cutler rolling and throwing. Olsen with a grab for a 1st down at the 35-yard line. Good catch by Greg Olsen. And again, the mobility of Jay Cutler keeping that play alive.
You know, not a lot of quarterbacks make this throw. Jay doesn't even get squared up to the sideline or to the back to the line of scrimmage, and yet he's throwing a frozen rope out there to Greg Olsen for the 1st down.
Bears have 1 timeout remaining. Stay with 3 wide receivers. Olsen, the tight end, splits off a couple of yards. 3-man rush. Cutler throws the screen to Taylor. Taylor gets a 1st down, gets into Raiders territory to the 49-yard line, and the Bears use their final timeout. 21-yard gain on the play. So turnaround, fair play as the Bears use the screen pass for a good gainer.
Absolutely, and it's a perfect call too, because you have a timeout. You can still get the ball down the field through the middle of the field and run after the catch. Now you got to be wise because you've only got 18 seconds left, no timeouts, and you don't have an experienced long snapper in Desmond Clark. So this is almost an exercise in how to get into the red zone. We'll forget about the field goal if the opportunity comes up, not put so much pressure on them.
Look for a deep sideline pattern here.
Absolutely.
Get out of bounds.
Now the Raiders most
and maybe
likely
give Desmond Clark one more chance.
Right. The Raiders are gonna. Well, they come out. It doesn't look like they're gonna to press the corners with too deep coverage, but that's what they should do. They should try to force this ball back in the middle. Yeah, they are rolling back into cover 3.
Cutler rolls, has time, and throws deep over the middle for Aroma Shadu, and a good defensive play by the Raiders. Mike Mitchell breaking it up.
This is Desmond Clark's first half history here with snapping the football.
All right,
Rolls
Maynard
the
did a
punt
good
snap
job.
back there, rolls the field goal snap, almost gets 2 kickers killed, then the third.
Get rid of it, says Robbie Gold.
Can't I just play H-back?
That is a tough spot for Desmond Clark. 12 seconds remaining, no timeouts. 3-man rush, pressure from the outside. Cutler is brought down. 5th sack and the 4th for Cameron Wembley.
Unbelievable.
The former Cleveland Brown first-round draft pick. And that's it. The end of the first half. It ends in a frustrating way for Jay Cutler as he was taken down 5 times. Brian Urlacher went out of the game with an injury. But at halftime, the Bears come back and lead the Raiders 14-13. The Oakland Raiders 14-13 in a game in which the Bears got off to a real rough start, but seemed to gather themselves and regain the lead 14-13. For the Bears, Eric, too many sacks on Jay Cutler in that first half. 5.
Well, 5 sacks, 4 by Cameron Wembley, and really it's just it's one side. It's Chris Williams not being able to handle Cameron Wembley for the most part, but then they were able to get it back. It wasn't horrible all half. They were able to battle through, but really that just sticks out in my mind. You got to protect your quarterback.
Take a look at some of the highlights of the first half. Raiders score on a quarterback sneak to finish off an 81-yard drive to start the game. Then Matt Forte breaks open. This was the big offensive play for the Bears. 89-yard touchdown run. It cut the Raiders' lead to 10-6 at the time. Fumble recovery by Israel Adonijah off the bad snap from center. And it was Cutler converting it. 22-yard touchdown pass to Johnny Knox. Nice mobility on a 4th down play. Big play by Jay Cutler.
It's all a work in progress. We're 2 games into this preseason, or 1.5, and it's not always pretty. Tonight's by a great example of that, but you just got to keep working through this thing, Sam. Defense, special teams, offense, they've all been inconsistent. We'll see how it turns out in the second half.
All right, some of the numbers in the first half. We saw the big run by Matt Forte leading the Bears to 141 yards rushing in that first half. Only 62 yards passing. Turnovers a factor. The Bears with 2 takeaways. They got the interception by Charles Tillman, and they got the fumble recovery by Israel Adonijah, and certainly the coaches will be happy about that.
Absolutely, because they always want turnovers. I don't care when you get them or how you get them, but so many times outcomes of games are predicated on turnovers, and so you want to practice at least getting them.
Bears will get the kickoff to start the second half. We'll see a lot of the backups in the game. Matt Forte's last play was that 89-yard touchdown run.
It's a good one to go to bed on.
That's right. Jared Wolf is deep to receive. Swayze Waters on the kickoff. Big, strong leg through the end zone for the touchback. And for the Bears, Dan Lefevre, the rookie out of Central Michigan. With Caleb Haney out, he took most of the snaps as the backup quarterback during the week. Matt Gutierrez was signed to a 1-year deal. Gutierrez, who came into the league with New England, played with Kansas City as well, and signed as a backup. Jay Cutler, 7 for 15, 99 yards. But the biggest number on the negative side was that he was sacked 5 times.
Good thing he's as athletic as he is. Could have been worse.
Yeah, that's right. 2 tight ends, Kellen Davis and Desmond Clark. Garrett Wolf is the running back. Lefevre throws the screen to Wolf. Slips one man. Raiders are all over him. It's a loss of a couple of yards on the play. We talked about the chase players to watch, and one of them is Garrett Wolf.
Absolutely. Garrett, is an excellent third down, change of pace back out of the backfield. Not the biggest guy. He's only about 5'9", 185 pounds, but a little crease here and there, and Garrett Wolf can make some positive plays.
Number 32 is Khalil Bell. We'll see him a little later on. That battle for the third running back spot. Desmond Clark motions. Wolf makes the turn. There's the opening. He spun around. There's a flag behind the play. He stepped out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
Number 87, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Kellen Davis called for the hold. That'll bring the play back.
One thing you can say about Lovey, he's going to give guys a fair chance. Last week it was Khalil Bell got the first action over Garrett Wolf. This week the roles reverse, and almost in every battle there is, whether it be Pisa Tinu Isamoa versus Nick Roach, they're always getting the chances they have earned. And these are pretty open competition battles. You got to give Lovey credit for setting it up and then letting the best man win.
Check the offensive line. Second teamers in. Josh Beekman is the center. Johan Asiata is at one guard. Lance Lewis remains in at right guard. This is Wolf carrying. Gets up across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Lance Lewis stays in the game. This is a guy that started college as a tight end.
This is great because they drafted him. He played tight end. They drafted him as a tight end, told everybody he was a tight end, but then knew he was really going to be an offensive guard. But by drafting him and saying he's a tight end, they can, and late, there's the 7th round, they can tell other guys that they're trying to get to camp to be offensive free agents in camp as linemen. Hey, we didn't draft an offensive lineman. Well, they did draft an offensive lineman. They just called him a tight end.
Out of the shotgun, Bears have to get to the 30 for a first down. Lefevre gets protection, throwing deep and overthrows Rasheed Davis.
That time Lance Lewis did a nice job of picking up a stunt. Came down inside. Watch what happens here. Here's Lance right here, right in there. They're going to come inside. He passes or drives him right past the center. Got stepped on.
Brad Maynard to punt. Johnny Lee Higgins is deep for the Raiders. Good snap. Good high kick. Johnny Lee Higgins takes it at the 40-yard line. It's by one man, and the Bears have it well covered. Khalil Bell made the tackle. So Khalil Bell getting special teams play and makes a good play. Coaches will notice that on film.
That's exactly what he needed.
With a resealable cap, wider mouth, and that great Pilsner taste you love, it's 16 ounces of Bears Pride. Taste greatness.
Back at Soldier Field, Dan Lefevre and Jay Cutler talk things over. Bears with a 14-13 lead. And the first down line is brought to you by Lexus. Kyle Bowler in at quarterback, dumps it off to the fullback Manasseh Tonga. And gets into Bears territory, a pickup of 9 on the play. And there is Kyle Bowler, who was signed in June. They've had some injuries to their quarterbacks. Bruce Gradkowski, the number 2, is down. Charlie Fry underwent wrist surgery. He's on IR. Colt Brennan was signed as a backup. Kyle Bowler came into the league with the Baltimore Ravens. No gain on that play. Manasseh Tonga on second and short. Good play inside. Bears have Towina and Harrison at the tackles. Adonijah and Anderson are the defensive ends. Jason Campbell played the entire first half. But a good drive on the opening possession. Through one interception. Quarterback sneak, but the flags fly beforehand, and it's a false start.
Number 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
It's on Eric Piers, the right tackle. Zach Bowman, Ryan Urlacher on the sidelines, first team defense. Urlacher seems okay after suffering a calf injury.
Sporting the team's new linebacker, all Mohawk linebacking group.
3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 6. Bowler puts it up deep, and it's well covered by Cornelius Brown.
Brown's a undrafted free agent out of UTEP. That was a good job that time. They said they were going to watch here. Cornelius Brown gets his hands on him and forces him into the middle of the field where he's got inside safety help there. Afalava coming over on the top of the plate. Right insurance. That was good.
Yeah.
Good coverage.
Jacoby Ford, the intended receiver, draft pick out of Clemson. Eric Peterman is back deep to receive Swayze Waters' punt. Waters, the backup kicker and punter. Peterman missed it, muffed the ball. And the loose ball, the scramble on. It's still alive. Did he get into the end zone? And
no signal yet.
Who caused the momentum to put it in the end zone if it got there? The discussion by the officials. Peterman getting his first chance to return a punt. Okay, John Parry.
The ruling on the field is that the punt first touched the receivers. Then it was muffed all the way into the end zone where it was recovered by Oakland. Therefore, the ruling on the field is a score.
All right, so it was the Bears who had the momentum off of this muff.
You see the ball just glances off Peterman's fingertips and it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling all the way into the end zone. Peterman, all he had to do was come up just a little. You see how he's kind of, the ball must have knuckle dived right down in front of him and he didn't bring his feet with him.
So
God, that's a tough break.
It's a recovery for a touchdown by the Raiders. And here's Waters for the extra point. Flags fly as players jump across. And Lefevre going over to try and pump up Eric Peterman. There's the muff.
The mad scramble. No one ends up right there. Right before it gets across the goal line. Terrible feeling.
Encroachment, number 71. Defense. Oakland has accepted that penalty on the ensuing kickoff.
I feel for him. I threw a 106-yard interception return for a touchdown in the playoffs at the end of a game against Green Bay one year when I was with the Lions. So I know the feeling Eric Peterman's going through right now.
Waters' extra point try is good, and the Raiders have the lead back at 20-14. Peterman trying to catch the punt, muffed it. The ball was alive to the goal line. Raiders recover it for a touchdown.
It's 1934.
Back at Soldier Field, where the Raiders leading the Bears 20-14. Next week, the Bears host the Arizona Cardinals. Waters kicks off from the 35-yard line. The penalty on Adonijay.
This guy's got a heck of a leg,
yes,
huh?
He does. He got 5 yards on the penalty that added to that, but that would have been in the end zone nevertheless. And Garrett Wolf takes a knee. Bears start from the 20-yard line. Great night here in Chicago. The moon is full. Good night to watch some football. In the first quarter, the Bears down 10-0. Matt Forte off a block by Olin Kreutz and Lance Lewis, takes off on an 89-yard touchdown run. Second quarter, Jay Cutler buys time on 4th down and finds Johnny Knox, 22-yard touchdown That's our game tracker, brought to you by Subway. Jay Cutler and Brian Urlacher on the sideline. Dan Lefevre with the toss to Garrett Wolf. Wolf picks up a couple on first down. Offensive line has got Jamarcus Webb at right tackle, Kevin Schaefer the left tackle. James Martin is at one guard, Johan Asiata the other, and Josh Beekman is the center. As the backups are in. Rashid Davis, number 81. And at wide receiver, Brandon Manumaleuna, the tight end, goes out, splits out to the right side. And Devin Aroma should do is also
Ever seen a 300-pound wide receiver?
They've got both tight ends split out to the right. And juggling it is Garrett Wolf, pulls it down as they block for him, and he gets up to the 26-yard line.
That was Manu Maliuna out there. At least he looked good in motion. Yeah, he's going to come right down in here, block the defensive end. Webb does a nice job. The right tackle there, Jamarcus Webb, does a pretty good job of getting out in space.
Joaquin Iglesias is in, number 17 at wide receiver. 3 wide receivers in.
Look at this. They got themselves a 3rd and 4, a manageable 3rd down.
Desmond Clark motions. Wolf slips one man. Trying to get outside. He's brought down. Good tackle on the play by Matt Shaughnessy.
Yeah, it's good penetration by the defensive front. Chris Cooper blew right through the inside gap there, got by Beekman and forced a cutback by Wolf. Here we go.
It's 3 and out.
Here's the adventure
Desmond
of the long
Clark.
snap.
Well, he's been okay on the snaps to the punter.
Okay.
He had trouble with the snaps on the point after try and the field goal. Simon Figures is deep. Rangers punt is high. Fair catch waved for by Figures, and he's got it at 37 with DJ Moore covering. 41-yard punt. Third quarter, Bears offense has not gotten anything going with the backups so far.
It's going to be tough. Offensively for the Bears, it's going to be tough. Dan Lefevre, being a young rookie quarterback, getting next to no work in training camp, and then all of a sudden Haney goes down and he finds himself going to get a lot of work tonight. It's going to be a struggle.
Kyle Bowler, the quarterback. Michael Bennett, 10-year veteran, is brought down. Short pickup on the play. We go down to the Bears sideline. Lou Canellis has got a special guest. Lou.
I'm alongside Pina Tillman and Charles. You had a pick in that first half. Size up the play of the first-string defense tonight.
I thought we came out slow. We definitely should have went 3 and out, but in the end, I felt pretty good about how we played.
You had a pick tonight. You had 2 last year. Turnovers are so important to Lovey's defense. Only 28 takeaways a year ago. How do you guys improve on that?
By getting more takeaways. Definitely we got to play harder, play smarter, and just be around the ball more. Getting 11 guys around that ball, and I think that would create some turnovers for us.
Throughout your career, 91 of your 94 starts in regular season play have been on the left side. This year you're on the right side. Do you have to do anything differently? Has it been a change for you?
No, I feel like I'm pretty ambidextrous, being I'm going to go left and right. I played the right corner in the Super Bowl. Nate Vash played the left corner. Going against different receivers, I've gone from right and left throughout the game. So I feel pretty comfortable on the right side,
Are you worried at all about the secondary? Will it be ready come regular season time against the Lions?
Yes, sir. Definitely with Chris Harris back there with us, I definitely think that the trust factor is there, and I think he helps us out, and he makes us that much more better.
How's your daughter feeling?
I think she's feeling pretty good right about now.
Good to see you. Thanks for the time.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Charles Tillman joining us. Of course, Charles' daughter went through a heart transplant last year, so we always have our best thoughts and wishes for her.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Lou. Thanks to Charles Tillman. Julius Peppers.
Got to see something there tonight, right? Pressure on the quarterback, forced the fumble.
Tillman had the interception. He's a key man in the defense. Kyle Bowler on 2nd and 11. Throwing outside to the fullback, Wanase Tunga. Taken out of bounds at midfield after a 1-yard pickup. Bears defensively had a good play earlier from Mark Anderson, who's still in at defensive end. Henry Melton has come into the game, number 69, and the Bears like him as a pass rusher.
You know, I'll tell you this, the Bears got some good depth on the defensive line. They got Matt Tawina. He's having a good night tonight. He just got a little pressure on the quarterback. They've got Mark Anderson still in the game. They got a good way of rotating guys in and out, keeping them somewhat fresh and not having too much of a drop-off in production.
Bowler, pressure, and they got him. Mark Anderson finished it off. Good pressure from all sides by the Bears on Kyle Bowler. Second sack of the game for the Bears.
The Bears ran a nice little up and under. You're going to see, well, they clear out the outside, and underneath comes Mark Anderson. Outside, the corners did a fantastic job of locking up man-to-man. Here you see Graham locked in, and there's nowhere to go with the football. This is the other side over here with Cornelius Brown, the rookie out of UTEP, doing a good job there. Good all the way around.
Waters punt. DJ Moore goes over. It bounces and goes out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. Spotted at the 11. 49-yard punt. Bears on offense when we come back.
Chicagoland Ford dealers, Motorola, and Ticket Exchange.
Bears Game Night Live follows the final word on Fox Chicago every Sunday night during the regular season and provides exclusive coverage of the day's Bears game. Be sure to catch our special season preview edition Sunday, September 5th. Bears Game Night Live is brought to you by Toyota. Bears starting from the 11. Garrett Wolf trying to turn the corner and gets a couple of yards on the play. Give him 2.
You know, just in terms of the game itself, Sam, football is such a game of field possession. The Bears have had the ball 10 total possessions. 9 of them started inside their own 25, and they're backed up once again.
They had one other time where they started from the 11, and it was a touchdown run by
easy peasy
Matt
lemon
Forte.
squeezy. Yeah.
Mike Martz, the offensive coordinator, upstairs calling the plays. Wolf goes out wide. Eddie Williams stays in the backfield. He's the fullback. Desmond Clark motions. Dan Lefevre, short drop, puts it up for Garrett Wolf. And he dropped it. Double coverage, but it was there.
It's a nice throw there by Dan. Nice poise. Garrett gets a nice release off the ball. You see him kind of angling out towards the sideline. You'd like to see him keep that a little more vertical, but Dan plays the ball very nicely right in. There should have been a completion.
Yep.
Good accuracy. Pick the right guy. You can only throw it, Sam. You can't catch it.
Have to get to the 21-yard line for first down. Bears 1 for 9 on third down conversions in the game. Pressure on Lefevre. Chased hard, and he's chased out of bounds back at the line of scrimmage. Big rush by Chris Cooper, the 8th-year veteran out of Nebraska, Omaha.
Yeah, he just comes around on a game to the outside. The tackle gets washed down with the defensive end, and Cooper's there to force Lefevre out of bounds. That's tough going. You know, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9. Tough to make first downs in this league.
Brad Baynard has gotten a lot of work kicking out of his end zone in this game.
He sure has.
Imon Figures is deep for the Raiders. Raiders leading 20-14. After the muffed fumble recovery, here's Figures. Try to play it. Good coverage by DJ Moore. Moore shows up
a lot on all phases of the game. Started out tonight in the nickel spot. Tonight, doing it on special teams as well. Good
Figures.
coverage.
Try to take it on the move. DJ Moore wouldn't let him have a step. /tickets. Kyle Bowler on first down, dumping it off to the running back Michael Bennett, who spins his way inside the Bears 40 and picks up 14 on the play. We go down to the sideline to Luke Canellis.
Alongside Jay Cutler, Sam. All right, you had more than 8 snaps this week. How did you feel the first string played?
Oh, we did well. There's obviously we missed a few things. We got some good and some bad. Some great stuff to look at on film. I think Mike did a great job of calling plays and putting guys in position to be successful.
Was it tough for you because Mike was up in the booth tonight opposed to being on the sideline? How different was that for you to have the play caller upstairs?
Oh, it's fine. It's going to go through Shane anyway. It did in San Diego, so it wasn't real different for us. Once the game gets going, Mike's kind of in his own world, with the headset on and stuff. So no change for us.
Raiders applied pressure, 5 quarterback sacks. You look like you felt comfortable rolling out in this new offense. You hit Knox on the touchdown pass.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly drawn up like that. So offensive line, they're still gelling together, working together. They were in the right spot, which is always a good thing to see. It wasn't like they were just completely busting. More of just physical stuff, so which can be corrected. Those guys are going to be good. I'm not worried about them.
And it was good to see Matt bust one for 89 yards and the running game going.
Yeah, well, going against the defense every day, they kind of have a good feel for us, and they're always fitting our gaps and stuff. So it was good to see a game-like situation with our movement and shifting and stuff, and us to bust one like that. I know Matt felt good about it.
I'll be honest with you, you impressed me with that footwork on the scramble, the zigzagging for 11 yards.
Yeah, I've been working on that one. That was part of the off-season regimen, so hopefully don't have to do it very much.
Looking good. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
All right, Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Lou. Thanks to Jay Cutler. Some say things that he felt can be corrected. Now, of course, he's taking a positive viewpoint.
Sure.
He did take 5 sacks, but he feels there's a lot of correctable things in there.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
Now, of course, he's taking a positive viewpoint.
Sure.
He did take 5 sacks, but he feels there's a lot of things in there.
Yeah, and I'm sure physically, they feel like they've got the guys in place. Typically, these things are mental adjustments that result in a lot of these plays that sometimes.
Rory Wooten out of Northwestern. Lovie Smith says he's partial to Northwestern. Pass complete to Jacoby Ford. Ford, a 4th-round draft pick out of Clemson. A lot of speed, good return man. He's got a chance to make the team and be a factor. 13-yard pickup, a first down for the Raiders.
Another guy talking tonight with Lovie before the game, asked him who else he wants to see, make some assertive move tonight. Henry Melton, also in there, number 69. Right in here.
Bennett, nice carry inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. Veteran running back.
There's Henry. Undersized tackle, pass rush specialist. About 260 pounds, played running back in high school. They even let him get back and return a kick last year in the preseason.
IR last year and getting a chance this season. It's Lovie Smith. Plays a lot of players these first 2 games. Bennett again. That time no hold. Good job up front by the Bears.
Good job by Hunter Hillenmeyer. One of the things at linebackers, the toughest thing they have to do is to take on a fullback and still get off and make the tackle. Hunter did a nice job of the fullback leading up into the hole, and Hunter takes it on and forces the running back inside. You want to watch. There he comes right up in the hole, takes this on with his inside shoulder and still gets in on the tackle.
Hillenmeyer has 8 tackles in the game. Here's 3rd down. Bennett carrying, and Henry Melton, the pass rush specialist, stops the run. Good play by Melton.
Another nice job. Combination of Henry Melton and Hunter Hillenmeyer. Most people don't have an appreciation for how these things get set up, but here's Hunter again, taking on the block with the same shoulder, keeping his outside shoulder free, so the running back has to cut back up inside, and there's Henry Melton to take on to finish up the tackle.
They're going to bring the chains in from the near side and measure on this one. Thought he was a little short. Check out the spot here. Not much. And they said first down. Oh, they gave him. They said the nose of the football touching the end of the chain, so the first down. Good spot for the Raiders.
Good tough run.
Gives them a first down at the 12-yard line. Raiders with a 20-14 lead. Bears led 14-13 at halftime. Hunter Hillenmeyer comes out. Kevin Ballast, first-year man out of Rutgers, is in at middle linebacker, number 52. Brian Ewu, number 62, is in at outside linebacker. Bennett carrying. And he battles his way down to the 6-yard line.
Henry Melton right here in your middle of your screen, taking on a double team. He's only 260 pounds, like you said, Sam. You've got to find a way to get low and not get driven out here. That's a pretty good job.
Melton playing inside with Anderson the left end. Bennett cutting back. Good tackle by Quentin Scott, the rookie safety out of Northern Iowa, with a good play.
See the run start away, and the safety's got to be there for cutback. After that, Quentin Scott skates down the line and right there to finish up the tackle. That's a good job, keeping him out of the end zone.
3rd and 1 for the Raiders. Quarterback sneak by Bowler. He pushes the pile and he gets to the goal line. No signal from the officials yet.
Looked like enough of a surge.
Good job, and it is a touchdown for the Raiders. Big push inside, led by the center, Chris Morris.
The Raiders have done a good job tonight in these short yardage situations of getting down low, pad level, quarterback sneak. You see there, Kyle Bowler walked that thing in from about 3 yards out. You see the struggle Henry Melton's having there, number 69, at being that light. You know, they've said, hey, he's a pass rush specialist. Well, that's tough to be in a goal line situation at 260 when you're going up against guys,
right,
you know, 320, 330.
Swayze Waters for the extra point. Bowler showing some good strength behind the center, Chris Morris, for the touchdown. Waters' extra point is good. 2 touchdowns here in the second half for the Raiders, giving them a 27-14 lead. Kyle Bowler taking it in. We are late in the 3rd quarter. Take a look at here's what's in store for the Bears on the Chase regular season schedule. Opens up with some tough games. Lions at home, Packers at home, on the road to Dallas and New York. Second half of the schedule, couple of games against the Vikings and Brett Favre. Your guy is back. He said he'd be back. He's back. The Eagles.
We'll be having the same conversation next year, right, Sam?
He said 20 years and that's it. That's what he said this week. And they said, you expect people to believe you? And he said no.
No.
Well, I think it's good for football that he's back.
He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play.
Yeah.
He can't get it figured out whether he wants to play or not until September rolls around.
Well,
it becomes a circus. There's no doubt it becomes a circus. But heck, you know, until they go out and get another guy, he's the best guy they got.
That's right. And they sent their players to go get him to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to get him. Jared Allen.
Good thing there was a company jet.
Steve Hutchinson. On the return, Garrett Wolf. Up to the 25-yard line. There's a flag on the play up at the 40-yard line along the sideline. John Parry, who was the referee in the Super Bowl when the Bears were there in Super Bowl 41, our referee tonight.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Oakland bench. 15 yards from the end of the run will be added. 1st and 10.
On the Oakland
Chicago.
bench. What happened there?
Wish we could get a little clarification with that.
Tom Cable wants to know what happened.
Said I didn't say anything. Someone must have, I don't know, run out onto the field or something.
Well, field judge explaining it to Tom. Just want to clarify something. John Parry wasn't the referee in that Super Bowl. He was a side judge in the Super Bowl. Now, of course, referee.
Thank you for clarifying.
Garrett Wolf. Gonna get the right positions. Lefevre pulls it down, runs. Good run out of bounds at the 46-yard line, chased out by Thomas Howard.
Dan's got some good athletic ability. You know, he rushed for over 1,000 yards 1 year in college. Good, smart quarterback. Doesn't make many mistakes, always hovering around 65, 66% completion percentage.
I think that was one thing that we saw in the first half from Jay Cutler. He had one good run on his own, and he had the scramble to keep that play alive that led to the touchdown.
These days you got to get away from big fast guys that want to hurt you up front.
Garrett Wolf fighting his way toward the first down marker, picks up 2 as we come to the end of the third quarter. The Raiders scoring 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. One capitalizing on a muffed punt by the Bears, and then pushing it into the end zone on a great night here in Chicago. Fans enjoying themselves. We head for the fourth quarter with the Bears trailing 27-14. Chicago. Sam Rosen, Eric Kramer, Luke Canellis here at Soldier Field. The Bears starters played the first half and left the game with a 14-13 lead. Right here it's 3rd and 1, and Khalil Bell is in it running back and carries. And he's got the first down. Good effort by Khalil Bell.
You like him, Sammy?
I do. I like the way he runs. I like the way he picks the holes. Garrett Wolf is a good special teams player. I don't know if he's an every down back.
Yeah, Khalil's got the size. You know, he's 5'11", 215. Got some good quicks about him. That time, offensive line created a little spark for him, and he hit it.
First down at the Raiders 48. Eddie Williams is the fullback. And Bell. And this time just a short pickup. We go back to Lou Canellis. He's got Israel Adonijah, right, Lou?
You are exactly right, Sam. Izzy, first few plays for Oakland, they put together a nice first drive. What was happening out there? You guys had a tough time with the screen pass.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch each of those the series where they kind of, had some drives on us, we did some real good things. And in each of those series, it was really just one big play that kind of put them back into it. And that's what we can't have. That's what we got to tighten up. Those big plays, that first screen there, we stopped them there. We're off the field. So we did some good things, but that consistency, we got to have it.
As the first half went on, the defensive line put more and more pressure on Jason Campbell. What happened?
I mean, that's what we have to do. That's what we're here for. We got to be the engine of this defense, and we just kind of started getting in a groove, got more comfortable, and moving forward, we have to get there sooner. I think that's the main thing. We got to get that chemistry, that feel for where the game is, where our strengths are. We got to do that sooner.
You had 3 tackles and a big fumble recovery for this team, and you're in a heated battle right now with Mark Anderson for a starting defensive end spot. Do you think you helped yourself tonight?
I mean, I just, I was glad I could get in the game and have some production. That's my focus. I plan on being in the rotation. I plan on, I know Mark's going to be in, Julius is going to be in the rotation, and I plan on being a part of that. At the end of the day, the 3 of us have to get it done. We have to have a lot of production. We got to get to the quarterback and make plays like we did today.
Izzy, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Lou. And while that conversation was going on, Bears had a big pickup with a blitz coming. Dan Lefevre found the tight end, Kellen Davis, for a 25-yard gain.
On an all-out blitz. Dan did a nice job of seeing it. Kellen broke the route, and Dan hit him right in stride in the face of the rush, which was nice. He had to get it up and over somebody.
2nd and 8 at the Raiders 22. A lot of shifting and a timeout. As again the play clock was winding down, Lefevre calls timeout. The Bears picking up a couple of first downs here in the fourth quarter. Their first in the second half.
University Health System, excellence is all around you.
The Bears will talk on the sideline. They're knocking on the door of the red zone, which is brought to you by Sports Authority. 2nd and 8 at the 22. A lot of shifting again. Lefevre waiting, throwing. Desmond Clark. Good grab by the veteran tight end. He can still do it.
Oh, it makes up for all the fumbled snaps. Watch Lefevre. Take his time. No one open right away. Shifts around and takes a shot while he delivers it. And Desmond Clark's going to be working some man coverage here. He gets the guy in his back, comes in, uses that big body.
Good throw by Lefevre.
Absolutely.
First and goal. Khalil Bell still battling, then takes a hard hit to try to wrestle his way free. He's thrown down for a loss back to the 7-yard line. Chris Cooper.
It's like yeah, some of the best run. That's a nice run Khalil Bell made there, only to lose a couple yards. Lucky he didn't fumble the ball. Remember, I playing in Detroit. Some of the greatest runs I ever saw was by Barry Sanders for a -2 after running 50 yards across the field and back.
3 wide receivers in for the Bears. 9th play of this drive. And a lot of shifting again. Iglesias in motion. And let's see, the play clock run out.
False start.
No, false start.
Number 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's on James Martin, the right guard. Interesting that Mike Martz is working all these shifts with the backups here.
Right? Yeah, we didn't. Where was all this from the beginning of the game? Well, Mike's, talking to him last week. It used to be he was saying, I could help confuse defenses, shifts, motions, get guys out of position and know right where the quarterback should go with the ball. Now, guys do a little bit better defensively, adjusting to some of that stuff.
There's Khalil Bell. And he's wrestled down at the 10-yard line by Desmond Bryant. You heard in the interview Luke Canellis did with Jay Cutler, Jay referred to Shea, that the plays were coming to Shane, that Shane Day, the quarterback's coach, was getting the calls from upstairs from Mike Martz.
Isn't this what you see in law enforcement right there? They pull you over the side of the road. Check this license plate.
Bears go empty backfield, quarterback sneak. They try that again. They tried that in the first half. Didn't gain much. Here it gained a couple of yards.
I'm not so sure about third and goal.
What do you think of this play?
I mean, there's no defender here, okay? But watch the tackles are going to pinch as soon as that play happens. I mean, they don't line up in there knowing that they're going to leave it there for you. It's kind of a clue to say, hey, we're coming.
Field goal try from 25 yards. This is where Desmond Clark has had problems on the snap. This is a good snap, and the kick is good by Robbie Gould.
Look at that.
Desmond Clark getting it together. Maybe that catch made him feel better about himself.
Look at that smile.
Four-yard drive that ended up in a 25-yard Robbie Gould field goal.
Impressive drive, impressive throw in the face of the blitz, right?
A big play on that drive, the completion to Kellen Davis, 25-yarder. Robbie Gould to kick it off. Sean Bodiford steps up to the 8-yard line. And the Bears have it covered well. Good job. Bears defense steps out. They're down by 10. $7.80. The show features regular appearances by head coach Lovie Smith. Bears Insider is brought to you by North Shore University Health System. Raiders go from their 25-yard line. Kyle Bowler remains in at quarterback. Michael Bennett, the running back, up front for the Bears. Couple of changes. Corey Wooten at left defensive end. That pass is complete to Brandon Myers, the tight end, Ala Falava, and Kevin Malice there for the Bears. 5-yard pickup.
The Bears brought the blitz off the edge, and even though Oakland picked it up, they forced a short throw from Bowler and were able to contain it for a short gain.
Ryan Ewu, Tim Shaw, and Kevin Malice, the three linebackers. Malice in the middle. Here's Bennett. couple of yards on the play. Lou Canellis, he's got another special guest. Lou, take it away.
All right, Sam, I'm standing alongside the man of the night, Matt Forte, who had the 89-yard run. After the Seattle game last year, when you sprained your knee, you couldn't have made a cut like you made tonight on that run, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. It feels good to come out and be 100% and go into camp, healthy. And, I just thank God that I'm healthy this year and so I can make more plays like that.
And people don't realize you suffered the hamstring injury during the offseason last year, then the knee sprain, and you still played 16 games with those injuries.
Yeah, I just said, a lot of people have injuries in football and you got to deal with them, so I wasn't going to try to make any excuses and whine about it. I was able to play, so I went out there and was doing the best I could.
Chester Taylor and you are now sharing the carries. I know you've said that this could actually help you out in your career. Tell me how.
It's evident tonight. We didn't play, a full game, but after a long run like that, he goes in and gets a little bit, so I can get a little rest and then go back in. So, I'm fresh again.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Lou. Thanks to Matt Forte. Here's DJ Moore on the punt return, and a good return back to the 33-yard line. 15-yard return for DJ Moore. The Bears, after a good job by the defense, with a chance to cut into the lead.
Geico, Chase, and Miller Lite.
Bears start from the 33-yard line. Matt Forte, his night ending on an up note with that 89-yard touchdown run. Khalil Bell, the running back. Desmond Clark motions. Off the play fake, Lefevre steps away from pressure. Outside for Rashid Davis, but too wide on the throw. Let's get up-to-date news from the NFC North with United fly around the division. We told you about Ryan Grant, concussion last week, back to practice this week. Brett Favre reports and will play tomorrow night as the Vikings play the 49ers, and the Lions try to improve their defense, picking up former first-round draft pick Lawrence Jackson from Seattle. Put him alongside Ndamukong Suh. Trying to Jim Schwartz, defensive coach.
That's right, man.
Short up the defense. And the Lions open up against the Bears here at Soldier Field. That pass for the fullback, Eddie Williams. And he couldn't hold on.
That time they tried to push the ball down the field, block everybody up, get some stretch down the field. Rashid Davis tried to get down, run a home run on the post, and Dan had to pull it down and check it down and just missed the throw there.
Caleb Haney is out with the injured shoulder. Lovie Smith telling us before the game that he's starting to get his range of motion back. They expect that he will be ready for opening day. Matt Gutierrez was picked up this week. He right now is the third quarterback, not likely to play in this game. He hasn't had much practice time. Lefevre hangs in there. The deep throw is intercepted by Stevie Brown. Brown on the return inside the 20 and is brought down at the 10-yard line. The rookie from Michigan, Stevie Brown, with the pick and a
Joaquin Iglesias to save the touchdown. Watch Lefevre step in up into the pocket, feels some pressure, just kind of floats it down the middle. I think he felt the rush coming, and instead of just zipping it right in there, you cannot take this down the middle. You cannot take that. Give your guy a chance.
From the 9, new quarterback in for the Raiders, Colt Brennan. Second-year man out of Hawaii, number 4, a man who's got the big gun. He set all kinds of passing records when he was at Hawaii. Was with the Washington Redskins and now signed by the Raiders, who have a couple of injuries.
Yeah, and they all went down quick. Like you said, Charlie Fry in the beginning breaks a wrist, out for the year now. Opportunities come up all the time. You just got to be ready.
Michael Bennett, and the Bears stop him for a loss. Good play up front by Mick Williams, number 79, rookie out of Pittsburgh. He was picked up after being waived by the Jets.
Now we're seeing some of these young guys get a chance to get in there in this fourth quarter up front for the Bears. You see Barry Turner there. Yeah. Mick Williams just made a play. Corey Wooten.
Ball just outside the 10-yard line. It's 3rd and goal.
Lions up in man coverage.
High snap. Holt Brennan being pressured. Gets away for a moment and brought down by Mick Williams. Good job inside by Mick Williams. Able to fight off the block and make the tackle.
Absolutely. You're not always going to get to the quarterback first, but if you keep working and someone else flushes him back up into you, then you can finish off the play, and that was good hustle by Mick staying with it. It was a good thing he did because the Raiders had a receiver pop free, but Brennan didn't have time to get the ball to him.
Swayze Waters for a 28-yard field goal try. And are they missing a player? Yes.
I bet he's got an easygoing disposition. What do you think, Swayze Waters?
Probably.
Hard to get too pumped up or excited, although he's in good shape for a kicker, man. Look at those pipes.
And Waters puts it through. He's shown a strong leg in this game. The Raiders regain the 13-point lead. It's 30-17. And we want to check out our Toyota Fan Zone results as we revisit our Toyota Fan Zone question for tonight's game. Who will have the best season on defense for the Bears? By a landslide.
Let's hope. Huh?
Stay healthy.
That's right.
Oh, if you joined us late, Julius Peppers was shaken up on a play, and the medical staff went out to check him out, and it was a hushed silence in the stadium. When he got up and jogged off the field, a huge cheer.
If he does have a great season for the Bears, all the other 3 guys on that screen will most likely have great seasons if they can stay healthy as well.
Well, the feature that Lou Canellis did at halftime, great job by Lou on that. And Julius saying he expects to have a Pro Bowl year.
Hey, it sounds like what they've said so far, they're cutting him loose.
And right now, with him in the game, the defense is kind of basic. There's nothing really fancy about it. I think during the season you'll see some maneuvering and different moves on the defense's part, all to capitalize on Julius Peppers. Cornelius Brown is deep on the return from the 2. Finds a lane, try to get outside, flag on the play, back at the 20-yard line. That's going to bring back that return. Pretty good return.
Number 69 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10.
Henry Melton called on the hold on special teams. The Bears host the Arizona Cardinals next Saturday here at Soldier Field. If you can't make it to the game, tune in to our telecast on the Chicago Bears Network. Airtime 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That should be a real good one. 3rd preseason game, always the one that is the showcase for the regular season. The starters go close to 3 quarters, and that's an important tune-up.
Absolutely. Arizona's always been historically a good defense. They got Matt Leinart in at quarterback, but still great receivers. Larry Fitzgerald, Beanie Wells running back.
It's a good team. Playoff team last year, Super Bowl team the year before. Pass for Joaquin Iglesias is off his hands. Incomplete.
The guy, Joaquin, drafted in the 3rd round last year, didn't do a whole lot in the preseason. And here's a guy struggling for his roster spot right now.
Absolutely.
Earl Bennett's been down, hasn't been out at all in training camp this year. And this is a time for Joaquin to step up and earn some valuable reps in there. He needs to push that DB off and get a little separation.
Those stats you saw were last season's preseason numbers. A handoff inside, Khalil Bell up to the 15-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and long for the Bears.
Earl Bennett last year we hasn't been on the field. Last year, 54 catches, was 4th on the team. And we're talking to Lovey before the game. The thing that's been injuries have been keeping him out of the lineup since spring. He hurt his knee.
Bring up a 3rd and long for the Bears.
Earl Bennett last year hasn't been on the field. Last year, 54 catches, was 4th on the team. And we're talking to Lovey before the game. The thing that's been injuries have been keeping him out of the lineup since spring. He hurt his knee, came into training camp, hurt a hamstring, and some other guys have been getting reps.
Incomplete. Out of the pocket. Nobody in the neighborhood, but no intentional grounding as he was out of the pocket. But it's 3 and out for the Bears as time grows short. Bears trailing 30-17, led 14-13 at halftime. A muffed punt by Eric Peterman was recovered by the Raiders for a touchdown that gave them the lead. Then they put one in. Kyle Bowler leading a drive for a touchdown.
The always adventurous snap from Desmond Clark on the money.
He's been good. Oh, the punt is blocked. Second one that they've had blocked. One last week, one this week. This one through the end zone for a safety.
Looked like he came up the middle. Second week in a row, they turned someone loose. Looks like Joaquin Iglesias is right in here, right there. Looks like he comes right inside of Joaquin. Yep.
He's got to make that block. He's got to find a way to slow down that Slade Norris. He recovered. Norris has made 2 big plays. He recovered the muffed punt for a touchdown, and here he blocks the punt for a safety. Slade Norris, second-year man out of Oregon State.
That's what hustling will get you. You know, it was not a designed punt block, but you just got to whip your guy, and you never know what's going to happen. Right there, Iglesias. You know, we talked about it last week. Afalava let his man inside against the Chargers. You have to take away the inside leg of that rusher, whether it's pass protection or punt protection.
Raiders will still get the ball on a free kick from the Bears' 20-yard line. We talked to Lovie Smith about the problems they had on special teams last week, and he attributed most of it to personnel. A lot of new people in there. When the first string is in there, he feels his personnel is okay. Different people, young players being tried here. Iglesias out there.
Yeah, and that's basically what's happened.
Brad Maynard's punt coming down to Nick Miller. On the return, slips one man and is wrapped up short of the 35-yard line. 18-yard return. Will Tofau was there. There's Dave Tobe, the special teams coordinator, shaking his head. Can't be happy with the breakdowns that he's seen the first 2 weeks.
That's one of the better special teams coordinators in this league. And for him to have 2 punts blocked in consecutive weeks, that's probably never happened to him.
And of course, early in the game with Patrick Manley, the long snapper, out. A couple of failures on a field goal try and an extra point try.
Long night.
Well, Brennan handing off to Michael Bennett. Breaks through and he could go. And the race is on. Tim Jennings trying to get to him, and he does. Jennings, the cornerback, able to catch up to Michael Bennett. The veteran running back, 10-year man. He could be a valuable.
That's pretty good. Tim Jennings to run down Michael Bennett. Now, a couple years ago, I don't know if this would have happened. Michael Bennett used to be one of the faster guys in this league.
Good run.
Gets to a big hole and puts a nice little move there on the safety. Good hustle there by Jennings to get back to him.
44-yard run puts the ball down at the Bears' 22-yard line. Here's Bennett staying in the game. This time he's brought down. Short pickup on the play. Tim Shaw makes the stop. Shaw getting some playing time at linebacker, a special teams player last year. Outstanding work by him on special teams. Bears trailing 32-17. Time winding down, fourth quarter.
Raiders most likely just going to try to pound it at him right now. Get some work for their line on the run game.
Cole Brennan going to put it up. And that pass off the hands, incomplete. But a flag on the play. Pass intended for Jacoby Ford. Tim Jennings covering.
I'm going to fire myself as a play caller.
Prior to the pass being thrown, illegal contact. Number 26, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
downs of the game.
You know? That's a guy wishing he had that opportunity back to catch the ball.
Jacoby Ford, the wide receiver. Ball at the Bears' 16-yard line on first down. Michael Bennett wrapped up. Good job inside. Kevin Mallist and Mick Williams. Injuries hit the Bears early in this game when Brian Urlacher went down on, may have been the first defensive play.
He was up walking around.
Yeah.
You know, he had the ice pack on his calf, but it certainly did not look like what anybody wanted, you know.
Yeah.
Starting the game with Urlacher on the sideline.
And he did not return. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter here in Chicago on a beautiful night with the moon shining bright. With a 2nd and 11 at the Bears' 12-yard line. Off the play fake, Cole Brennan dumps it off to the fullback. And down to the 5-yard line goes Shane Moline, the rookie out of UCLA. A 9-yard pickup on the play. Let's take a look at our Miller Lite key performers in tonight's game. Julius Peppers, you see the numbers. He was definitely a factor in that first half. The starters played the entire first half. And Matt Forte, we told you about the 89-yard touchdown run, a beauty. A couple of great blocks, and then the great speed that he showed. 109 yards for Matt Forte in the game. And there were some good performances by the front line. A rough start to the game when the Raiders marched 89 yards for a touchdown.
Kind of an inconsistent all-night performance, right? I mean, just all night long seemed like the Bears started something and then couldn't quite finish it. Once they started to get rolling on offense, and then all of a sudden they started to give up some sacks, and Jay had to get forced out of the pocket. They just never quite got that passing game going. Jay and his receivers never quite hit their stride tonight.
Corey Wooten getting some good playing time, the rookie out of Northwestern. With Javon Gilbert out, gives Wooten a chance to show what he can do. The inside handoff going down to the 3-yard line was Michael Bennett. Bennett getting a lot of work. Raiders are hoping that Darren McFadden, their former first-round draft pick a couple of years ago, will step up. And that's it. The clock winding down. Tom Cable's Oakland Raiders are 2-0 in preseason, as they want to get a winning attitude going. This is a team that's been losing a lot in recent years. For Lovie Smith, still a lot of work to be done before opening day. Jay Cutler told our Lou Canellis there were things that were correctable in his game.
Let's hope.
And Jay Cutler certainly showed some good moves with a touchdown pass in the game. Matt Forte with a big touchdown run, the big highlight offensively for the Bears. The final score, the Oakland Raiders defeat the Bears 32-17. We'll be with you next week from Soldier Field, 7:30 Central Time, when the Bears host the Arizona Cardinals. For Eric Kramer and Lou Canellis, this is Sam Rosen. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next week on the Chicago Bears Network for Bears Preseason.